In this town, the sunrise doesn't just bring the light, it brings back memories of what was lost. I remember it all too well. The quiet ambition of a young man named Peter, sitting in a small room, papers spread out like a map to a future that seemed so certain. He saw his name on a building, a dream taking root in the heart of his hometown. But dreams can be fragile. I watched the storm clouds gather, not just in the sky, but in his life. The wind that day felt personal, tearing through his office, scattering not just papers but the very foundations of what he had built. A financial crisis, a misstep, a cascade of failures. It all came at once. The dream crumbled, leaving behind an empty office door, a faded nameplate, and a silence that screamed louder than any storm. The man who had walked through that door with pride now walked past it, a ghost in his own story. The nights were the hardest. The glow of a computer screen became his only companion, its cold blue light painting shadows of regret across his face. Numbers and charts replayed his downfall on an endless loop, while the rain outside seemed to weep with him. In the darkness of his bedroom, a whisper would find him, a cold, sharp echo of his own fears. "You'll never rise again." It was a voice he couldn't shake, a weight that pressed down on him with every waking moment. He started hiding, not just in his room, but in plain sight. Head down, he'd walk the empty morning streets, a solitary figure against a gray, indifferent world. He felt invisible, broken, defined only by the ruins of his past. He had become so lost in the shadow of his failure that he couldn't see the light that was trying to break through. He believed the story was over. But stories have a way of surprising you. One morning, he saw an old shopkeeper sweeping the entrance to his small store. There was a simple peace in the man's smile, a quiet dignity in his work that struck a chord deep within Peter. It was just a fleeting moment, but it was a start. Later that day, a young boy, no older than 10, looked up at him with innocent curiosity and asked a question that would change everything. The boy pointed to the empty building Peter had once owned and said, "If it broke you, why do you stand in it?" The child's words were like a key, unlocking a door Peter had long forgotten. He sought out his old mentor, Mr. Elas, a wise man who tended to his garden with the same care he tended to people. Amidst the flowers, under the gentle morning light, Mr. Elas didn't offer solutions. He offered perspective. He spoke of seasons, of how gardens must sometimes be cleared to make way for new growth. "Failure," he said, "is not the end of your story. It is simply the end of a chapter." That's when Peter finally understood. He went home, gathered the old business plans, the reminders of his past defeat, and with a sense of release he hadn't felt in years, he let them fall into the trash. It wasn't an act of surrender, but of liberation. That morning, as the sun rose, he picked up a new journal. And for the first time in a long time, a faint smile returned to his face as he began to write. Not a plan for a business, but a plan for a life. His purpose was no longer about building an empire for himself. It was about serving the community he had once felt so alienated from. He started small, helping local shopkeepers with their finances, offering advice, and sharing the hard-won lessons from his own journey. He found joy not in profit margins, but in handshakes and shared smiles. He was rebuilding, not with bricks and mortar, but with connection and purpose. A new office, smaller and simpler than the last, became his workspace. The sunlight that streamed through the window no longer felt accusing. It felt warm, hopeful. He was focused, calm, and at peace. His success was no longer measured by a name on a building, but by the lives he touched. Standing at his window, watching the sunset paint the sky in hues of orange and pink, Peter no longer saw a day ending in defeat. He saw a promise of a new dawn. He learned that we shouldn't stay where we were broken, that small steps, taken with intention, can lead to the biggest transformations. Failure is a powerful teacher, but it is never the final verdict. he discovered that true success isn't about shining, it's about serving, and that every ending, no matter how painful, is just a doorway to a new beginning. Don't mistake your scars for chains. Your story isn't over. You are stronger than your failure, and your future is still waiting for you. Thank you for watching Peter's Journey. If this story resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more content that inspires and uplifts. We'll see you in the next one.